you thought that those bright, agile and hope-rising flakes of light would gleam once again, the path of destiny is not always a dead end. It's too soon to give up, Mr. Getien.
That was beautiful. So, by getting into the water, I guess Yenisei wanted to give him hope because she can create such light in the water. But yeah, all in all, we wanted him to stay and help, and this, I believe, will now be achieved. But I'm still so freaking curious why Ju is doing what she's doing if she indeed does all this on purpose. Part 18, New Year's Eve. Happiness should always be the focus of a celebration, or at least it should be. In the tavern courtyard at night, the sky is still gloomy with the promise of rain yet to fall, and mist shrouds the heads of all present. But the festive atmosphere of the banquet seems unaffected, and the damp mist is easily dispersed by the clamor and high spirits.
Oh, 九娘子, you are welcoming us at the door this year.
Because Li Zheng said... Oh, welcome guys! You're all here!
Oh, is she driven by Li Zhang to do this?
What's going on? You seem absent-minded. Here, 竹叶 flower seeds. I know this is the only flower you would use to make liquor. And here are 2 festoons with auspicious deer patterns. Not a fancy kind, but I made the pattern myself. Put it on the wall if you want. It will look as lovely as the horse paper cutouts you gave me last year.
Oh dear, this is too much. I'll hang them up right away. Thank you so much.
Oh, don't worry. To be honest, I didn't see that you would be welcoming us at the door. I thought I could sneak in and empty the jars before you showed up.
Most had intended to spend the festival at home, but now they gather here at the generous invitation of Junyangzi, the golden colors of the courtyard displayed for all to see, punctuated by the delicacies and fine liquor on offer. Almost every corner is filled with people who scattered about like sand in the desert, with status and age set aside, and all notions of formality cast to the wind.
1, 2, 3, 4... 7, 8, 9... Huh?
Everyone is here.
I'm not sure about that. I haven't counted them up yet.
Has Li Zhang asked her to turn everyone to horses for some reason?
That might be Fa Cao. His family is here. Without him.
Is he still patrolling? This late? Is he still looking for the foreign ladies?
Perhaps. But it is not polite to keep other guests waiting.
I see. Then let's start the party first. I'll save him his liquor.
All right, everyone. The hostess has a toast to make. Please pay attention.
Thank you.
Junyangzi stands up above the crowd, hoping that everyone can see her. Although her mind begins blank, some heartfelt words bubble up, brought to the fore by the encouraging gazes below.
Everyone here knows that I can't read and can't say some sweet words like toasting.
Just
say whatever you want.
Sorry, I thought I was supposed to read that.
Don't interrupt her, you imbecile. Oh, all right. Well, where was I?
A toast.
Right, a toast. But I can't do it myself, so I copied a line from the book at the place where I work now. I like how it sounds. I bid thee all to drink and be merry. Do not stay thy hand from thine cup. Hope I didn't pronounce it wrong. It means people should drink and drink more, so you shouldn't say no to it.
Is that so?
Well, whatever. Anyhow.
Without waiting for everyone present to react, she looks up and drinks her bowl dry in a single gulp. Her bowl is now slightly tilted, indicating that it has been emptied. Junyangzi's gaze glides over each face, one by one, and finally she laughs with glee.
Bottoms up and fill your cups. Cheers!
Soon the cry of cheers begins to echo through the courtyard, one after another, rising wave by wave until even the festoons on the eaves are shaken.
You've always been nice and warm to me since I came here. I can't do anything in return but host this feast. Hope you enjoy the liquor and the dinner. I wish you a peaceful New Year's Eve. May all of your wishes come true in the coming Shuori. Li Zheng, do you have anything else to say?
A peaceful New Year's Eve would be enough.
Peaceful New Year's Eve.
Peaceful New Year's Eve.
Peaceful New Year's Eve.
Li Zhang sits among them like a kindly old man from the neighborhood rather than an imposing governor. The crowd loosens up once again shortly after he finishes speaking, the sound of clinking cups and tapping chopsticks continuing to rise and fall.
You did a good job with the toast, Zhoujiangzi. Looks like you've learned something from those love poems. You must have read them unconsciously after you stuck them on the wall.
Oh, please. That custom is no longer popular in our neighborhood. I'd rather transfer the poem onto a kerchief and make a purse out of it, just like Jiunyangzi did. It draws so much attention on the street.
Actually, I still can't read what they write on the purse, but the characters seem beautiful.
Also, she knows their love poems. I thought that she just was happy that people gave them to her. That's what they said on the trailer, I think, that because she can't read, but still appreciates the gesture of receiving letters, she puts them on her wall and made also the purse, but she does know their love poems.
What about the one you recited during the toast? You sounded really fluent. Who taught that to you?
Oh, that's from the former Zhili, the one who went back to her hometown. She taught me that.
Oh, then perhaps what she's doing has some connection to the previous Jili. Like, that woman said she met Gutian and was sent to go back to her hometown and she took her place.
Speaking of her, is she going to come back?
I didn't know any better, but by now she should be at home having New Year's Eve dinner.
Did you hear from her? If she doesn't come back, you will have to work as the official Zhili. Who will take care of the tavern by then? The tavern has never had a reliable owner before you. It would have still been run down if you hadn't taken over it.
Jiunyangzi is kind and warm-hearted. Such a girl of integrity can perform well in both running a tavern and being a Zhili.
You have a high regard for her, Li Zhen. Are you telling the truth or showing partiality?
The truth, of course. What she said in the Jersey a few hours ago is still vivid in my mind. I once again realized that it's never too late to learn.
No. I'm not as good as you say.
What did she say?
Things like, one can remove the footsteps, but not the path one walketh on. Act not against the nature of thy flesh, for through it all things were made. She made it sound easy.
The crowd erupts in a series of alarmed cries.
Really?
Absolutely. She is indeed illiterate, but she keeps learning and interprets the classic sayings in her own way. Even if there were other scholars, they would be convinced by her powerful speech. Sadly, the one she confronted was not a human, but a Yao.
Confronted a Yao in the Zhici? Was that the Featherman?
She thought the Featherman was Zhang Rei and asked him some questions.
You actually asked him questions? He could have turned you into another striped horse.
I didn't think of that back then. This is the first time I've ever been so close to a Yao. He looks so similar to the ones in the books, so
I don't think she realizes she's half Shangre.
Jiunyangzi, where are you?
The rapid sound of footsteps approaches, and their leader's figure steps into the tavern several broad and forceful steps. The abrupt sound severs the excitement in the courtyard.
What? What happened?
What is...
Where is Jiunyangzi?
Here! I'm here! What's happening?
Turns out those foreign ladies have been in league with Gu Qian the whole time. They helped him break out of jail and hid themselves in the wild with their arcane skills. I'm sure it will rain again soon, and it will be dangerous to stay in the wild. By then, they will come to you, because you are the Featherman's target.
In the courtyard, the crowd's gaze follows Fat Cao closely, while Fat Cao's own eyes are fixed on Jun Yangzi. They realize now that some words of resistance is on her tongue.
What? Jiunyangzi, you must leave here. You can't stay in the tavern.
But it's my tavern. Why am I leaving my own place?
You are in danger. Since Guo Tian was able to break out of jail, he will for sure be able to break into the jutsu. For your safety, I will have my soldiers escort you to the government office. That's the only safe place now.
No, I'm not leaving. He is neither a Xiangrui nor a strong Yao. Why are we afraid of him?
The sound of wings cutting through the air overlaps at the end of Jun Yangzi's question. The new arrival spreads his wings like a dark cloud blanketing the courtyard's colorful decorations and dazzling lights.
Watch out!
She's right. You need not fear me. This lady owner of the tavern is the bigger concern here.
Formation 1!
The well-trained guards surround the tavern, and the sound of running, trampling feet echoes through the courtyard.
I knew you would come for her. Where are your accomplices? Are you the vanguard of the team?
Jiunyangzi, it's not too late for you to stop. No more turning people into a Lushu. Too many people have gone missing because of you.
This information, unknown present, is like a stone cast into water. Questions and whispers begin to circulate through the crowd like ripples in a pond.
Turn people into a Lushu? But the wanted poster says those are striped horses.
What is he talking about?
Jun Yangzi looks up into the air and stares straight at the looming figure of Guo Tian above her.
What are you talking about? You know nothing about Lushus. Besides, what do I have to do with the missing people?
He's talking nonsense, right, Jiunyangzi?
Save the talk. Catch him first.
If he stays in the air, can they get him? I presume no. I have zero clue why we had to fight Guo Tian right now. Are we playing by Zhu's POV? Anyway, y'all have me attack this beautiful man continuously and I don't appreciate it. Goodness gracious, finally we're at 19 and we can unlock Zhu's backstory. But this kind of scares me because it says Insight 3 level 20 and I am nowhere close Insight 3 right now. I hope I can do this. So part 19, I wish come true. It is regrettable that such events occur in our time. The uninvited guest is not willing to attack, even in his own defense, so a one-sided battle ensues. It is only natural that the side resigned to only evading will eventually lose.
Surrender, and dispel your arcane skill. Turn the victims back to who they were.
At this moment, Bessmert and Yenisei rush to the edge of the encirclement. The communication arcane skill that Guo Tian cast on them earlier is quietly translating the words for people.
We will put an end to it before the Shuori.
But I don't possess the power to transform people from one shape to another, and thus cannot turn them back. You're asking the wrong one.
Guo Tian struggles to hold on and rests on the eaves, still looking directly at Jun Yangzi with some hidden meaning. But Jun Yangzi shows no hint of understanding, simply looking back with a placid anger. Her look is so forceful that it is almost a glare.
Why do you have to blame this on me? I've never met those missing people, and I have no idea what you're talking about. Is this because... Did you have a grudge against me or something?
Nothing of that sort. I'm here only to prevent an unwanted escalation. I could have just walked away, and there's nothing you can do. I could have gone to other mountains, and life would have continued as it has always been. But for those who have been turned into half-Lushus, no one can get them out of this trouble.
Jun Yangzi stands stunned before him. After a moment, she struggles out an accusatory remark, but her voice trembles slightly.
Been turned into half Lushus? Are you saying that the animals in my backyard and those in the Jutsu, are they all the missing people? But I thought they were just Lushus. The first time I saw them, it was clear that we were alike. We're just some...
Wait, the first time I saw them it was clear that we were alike. So you do know you're half Lushu?
half divine beasts.
The crowd is thrown into a commotion. She turns a deaf ear to them and once again stares blankly at Gutian.
So they must not be humans. I've done nothing to transform them. I'm just taking good care of them so that they can tell me where they're from, and if they can, take me home.
Oh, she's lost? She took care of them because she wanted to turn back to Lushu and go where she belongs? Her trembling words usher in silence. Gutian, who knows she has already begun to waver, can only sigh. It seems he's starting to see the whole picture for what it is.
The Niuyang Mountain shelters the beasts. The beasts have white heads, red tails, the bodies of horses, and the markings of tigers. When they neigh, the sound becomes music. The name is Lushu. The striped horses you keep in the yard are half Lushus. They look like what's told in the tales, and they cry like humming songs in the moonlight. And the wooden dolls infuse your arcane skill, the shape of will, into the liquor, which turns people into Lushus or half Lushu. As for the dolls, they were once soaked in the water of Peiling River. Were they not?
The stream runs through the backyard. No way! They went there just for fun, or a bath. They should not...
So she's been tricked by the dolls? Is that what they're trying to say? She found them in the backyard. Beyond the encirclement formed by patrolling troops, Bessmert judges the course of events through the sound of people's voices. Junyangzi falls silent, the seeds of suspicions have been planted, and it is now time for witnesses to take the stand. Hidden in the crowd, Yenisei crashes into the soldiers on both sides of her. Sharp swords and spears brush over her Lushu skin, but she seems completely unfazed, charging straight towards the direction of the water jar.
What? Who let it in? Catch it!
The water leaking from the jar creates puddles in the crevices of the courtyard. Although it isn't much, it is still enough to buy some time.
Wait!
It's you!
Li Zhang immediately looks up at Gutian as though wishing to catch a glimpse of the arcane skill cast from his still figure, only to find nothing there.
The markings of a tiger and a red mane. Exactly what the Featherman said. But its reflection is a woman?
A gasp sounds out from the crowd.
Oh my, the reflection. Is that the foreign lady from the street earlier?
Junyangzi also casts a bewildered gaze towards Yenisei.
You are a Lushu. You're a real Lushu now. This is what a Lushu should be. But why are you still here?
I don't see what you mean, Miss Junyangzi.
Oh, you're hurt. And you shouldn't be here. It's not right.
She lightly taps a pool of water with her hand, as if soothing the invisible reflection of herself.
I thought you were able to recognize your teammates and had already left here.
Wait, what? Oshamon, I get it.
Even Yenisei's reflection in the water ripples in response to the sudden realization.
Junyangzi, you turned me into a Lushu because you thought that would help me find my teammates, didn't you? Last night, you said you would help me, so this is how you...
That is stupid, though. Even if she did find her mates, they wouldn't be able to turn back to humans.
But I was not asking for help. I was only being emotional, or pouring out my troubles. Anyway, I was not asking for anything from you.
From the talk, I could feel the sincerity from the bottom of your heart. It was too real to be fake. I understand you were trying to help, and that was enough.
But I don't understand. The Taoist said, the one who can protect and benefit the people shall be a Shuori. If you can, but you don't, that would be wrong.
What? If you can help, but you don't help, this is wrong. So you do know you're a Shuori.
I've done a terrible job. I'm not that majestic, nor do I look like any Shuoris in the book. I can't even turn into a real Lushu. How is that enough?
You're half, that's why this happens. She shakes her head and takes 2 steps back until she can retreat no longer and collides with a motionless patrol guard.
Jiu Niangzi, I think you need to tell us everything.
Li Zhang, who has been standing nearby, now speaks, his tone intensifying as he goes on.
Have you ever transformed people into Lushus?
Jiu turns her head only to find that everyone's gaze has now shifted towards her, needling her with probing eyes.
Answer us!
I swear that I was trying to help. To help everyone get what they want. Just like the former Zhili. She wanted to go back to her hometown, so I offered her a drink and sent her back.
Couldn't you just send her back without turning her into a horse?
Jiu Niangzi, do you understand what you are saying?
I understand every word I say.
Her reaction says more than any confession. Every sentence is a declaration, every sentence is an interrogation.
Jiu Niangzi, what have you done?
You should have asked this a lot earlier.
What did you do to the Zhili?
With Li Zhang, who had already trusted her, turning on her in anger, Jiu Niangzi's reaction is to grab her own arm tightly, as if for protection. She wants to step back again to keep herself away from the intense emotion, but there is nowhere left for her to go. All she can do now is answer.
She came to my tavern and complained that you didn't understand her at all, and that she was considering going back to her hometown.
Which she could have done without being turned to a horse once again.
But it seemed far away from Pei City. She looked sad and tired and didn't know what to do.
So you...
I must grant her wish. Mustn't I?
This is not how... She doesn't know how to answer wishes.
The Taoist said a Lushu can easily go 1,000 miles within a day. If they start running, go faster, that will be over 10,000 miles.
She did tell us she came here with the Taoist, but like every single thing that man did, she took the wrong way. Because she doesn't understand, because nobody helped her understand.
If that's how I can help her, I should definitely do that.
You...
Jiu Niangzi lowers her eyes, trying to find more suitable words for her confession, but in the end, only a knot of confused sadness fills her throat.
Just like now. If the Peiling River dries out, you have nowhere to go.
So by turning everyone to horses, you want to help him go to another city faster and find water?
Just turn into Lushus, and then you won't suffer. Lushus can go anywhere they want. To the north, to the south, wherever they want.
My goodness.
I can grant your wish differently, even if I can't recover the river from drought. I was thinking, going away freely might be a good choice. But in the end, what I'm doing is wrong?
Yes, because you already know you're a half Lushu, so it's your choice whether you want to be a human or a Lushu, but you cannot force others become that because that's your wish for yourself. I am so mad right now. It's crazy to me because for years these people, they had Shangreis and other protectors and gods they believed in, and they crossed the bridge to go pray, right? To that, what was it? The only word that comes to me about that building is in Japanese, and I want the translation of that. It's not a shrine, it's... So people were going there and worshipping, and after the bridge was broken, people couldn't cross it anymore to ask for the wishes. And seriously, out of all these deities and creatures that lived within these walls the last I don't know how many years, she was the only one left, and this is the only thing she could do to help? I mean, if other Shangreis were this way, I can understand why they eventually walked away, like perhaps seeing people's view of them as ungrateful. Because right now she could take this whole thing as ungratefulness, but she's not that proud, so she understands that what she did is wrong. I'm just saying that if other Shangreis were there, they probably could have seen it the way perhaps Gutian saw it, that people are just not worth the effort at the end of the day. For a moment, almost everyone is at a loss for how to deal with this revelation. Every sentence seems to them to be absurdly wrong, but the tone with which she speaks is completely sincere. Yet no matter what explanation she might offer, it only reveals that the true culprit of the disappearances was in fact Junyangzi herself.
Junyangzi, you...
No one familiar with Junyangzi anticipated this moment, that on the eve of the festival, a time of joy and reunion, they had to come to grips with a colossal disaster caused by such a simple act of childishness.
But if not by doing this, then what else can I do?
Not interfere? This matter is too chilling and heartbreaking for any early spring night. Yenisei, who has remained silent for a long time, takes a step forward.
Junangsi, remember what you said to me last night? Liquor has many different names, but they're still liquor. You can put on many different clothes, but you will still be the same Junangsi. Likewise, whether you turn me into a horse, a donkey, or a lushu, I will still be the same Yenisei. You don't have to force yourself to become the people's Zhangrei. I think it's only an unreachable symbol.
So the reason the reason Ju was so angry at Gutian at not being a good Shangre and protecting people wasn't because she wanted to see a Shangre, as I thought, but because she was one, and she tried her best to be like one of those in the books and kept failing, but this one didn't even try at all. She thought that Gutian wasn't trying to be a good Shangre like she did, hence why she got mad. And of course for the fact that she really believed that he was harming people.
What matters is that the Junangsi I know would do whatever she could to help others. That's just what the Zhangrei does, as far as I know. Even though some results turned out to be not so satisfying, your sincerity is as valuable as the Zhangrei itself.
You know what? Scratch that. I actually thought of something else. Ju attacked Gutian for potentially turning people into horses, right? But she was the one doing it and she knew it. So right now I'm a little confused, like, why would you go out of your way to judge him about that? I think, you know what? I think it's what I said. I think that she was bitter that Gutian wasn't trying to be a good Shangri like she was. And she was projecting, in a way, her insecurities, as well as her desire to be a good Shangri, of course. But it surprises me that she appeared to be mad at him for turning people into horses, which she knew he wasn't doing in real life. And also for him pinning the whole thing on her.
So now, you just need to turn us all back.
Can she do that?
Yes. So turn back, where no path lies before you. It's never too late to return.
Seeing Li Zhang, who has been silent for a while now, nodding, Junyang's worried expression begins to stifle a few beams of hope.
I will do my best.
Okay, she can do it. This drives me crazy though, because when Yenisei came to her and said, "My people have turned to horses, please help me find them," instead of turning every person in her backyard or in the Jitsu back to human and find out who are her mates, she said, "Okay, I'll turn you into a Lushu so that you can find them and then you can all live together like Spirit, the stallion of the Simar." Oh my god, I don't pronounce the title. Anyway, you understand the Disney movie anyway. And just run away to a foreign land as animals. Like, I'm supposed to take this that she's just naive and childish, but it's really baffling me how she thought that made sense. Okay, we're doing this one more time. Yeah, now the story makes full sense to me. The reason I kept losing details as I was questioning myself and spiraling over what happened was because A, I'm struggling to keep the quiet around me to record, and because of my anxiety, I jump from the story to closing doors to coming back and recording and blah blah blah. And also because it was a lot of information at once for me to get it, okay? So the clear story we have is this. Junyangzi turned only some people to Lushu willingly. There were plenty of them who weren't turned by will. Those who tried drinking from the river, etc., all right? This is why when they got Gutian, she was mad at him. One, because she thought he should have tried to be a better shangre like those in the books like she was trying to be. And also because she generally thought that he was turning people to Lushu for no reason. Like, whatever she did it was to help. However, for him, she thought it was entertainment. Therefore, it makes sense. Her anger makes absolute sense. Her understanding makes sense. So yeah, now my question about this is gone. This is why she was mad in the first place. Junyangzi turns around and whistles. Immediately after, the sound of wooden footsteps follows and gradually echoes around the courtyard. They circle in and silently jump around her.
All right, you can talk now. It's okay.
They trapped you! More like she trapped everyone.
What?
These handicrafts are able to talk. How could you be manipulated by them, Junyangzi?
I think that they're just as childish as she is. I don't think they're evil either. Yeah, they're trying to protect her.
No, you're getting it wrong. Don't save me. Hee-jung, I'm not manipulated. They're just wood. Well, they're indeed my friends. No, that's not for now.
That's not for now. I suppose it will tell us more about that in her backstory.
They just talk like that. That's not what they mean.
The elder's patience teeters now on the verge of exhaustion, yet his responsibilities force him to stay calm and wait patiently for the end of this farce.
This shall be the last time I put my trust in you. Ask them how to transform people back.
They won't do it.
But if you can't...
Junyangzi knows that there can be no can't allowed at this juncture. She turns her head to look at the patrolmen surrounding the entire courtyard and the locals with their fearful faces. Finally, she shakes her head and clears her mind of any unnecessary emotions and focusing on just one thing.
You heard him. Now, please tell me how to turn them back into humans, will you? If it requires liquor, I'll get it for you.
Wait, no way. No turning back.
Can I beat the shit out of them first? They will turn people back to normal after that.
The white-haired Taoist, the yellow drawing on forehead. You forgot.
The Taoist? I didn't forget anything. And I see. You must be messing with me because I treated you badly this morning. This is your revenge, right? It's not the time for it. I really need you to...
No way.
Slap the bitches out of your face.
No. There must be a way. I must be able to dispel my own craft.
At the end of her somewhat lackluster speech, her voice weakens to a whimper, an acknowledgement that there is no way out.
You must come to the jutsu with me, Junyangzi. We'll see what we can do.
There must be somebody who's stronger than her, like where is that Taoist, for example? He signals to the patrol soldiers to come forward and take her away. At this moment, Junyangzi no longer seems willing to cooperate and instead takes another step back.
I'm sorry, but I must fix it. I can fix it. This is all because of me. I need to...
She makes a ritual gesture, attempting one final desperate act of self-salvation.
I will think carefully. Think of what I did before. I can do it. I can do it without them.
No! Very writhing pain.
Well, you're prideful little bitches, that's what you get. A dim light emanates from her forehead, like moonlight on the silver stripes on the Lushu skin in the dead of night. The sound of more wooden dolls leaping wildly rings out. They emerge from various corners of the courtyard, breaking through the encirclement of patrol soldiers and locals with unexpected force, heading straight towards Junyangzi. The miniature wooden creations begin to grow rapidly in a twisted transformation before Junyangzi, who is now overwhelmed by a sudden burst of pain. They shift from a human form into strange, enormous beasts. To this point, everything has proceeded almost exactly like the prophecy. I'm guessing the Taoist has enchanted these dolls to protect her for some reason. Perhaps the Taoist is her father. A temporary balancing of encounters. This battle will enter balance mode. Unbalanced characters will have their level, psyche, and character resonance raised to... Oh. Well, that's a good thing because, like I said, I have no inside 3 characters, so that helps. I'll be back.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Mommy, I'm sorry.
The dolls are no longer moving, are they? I heard no note.
They aren't. No more dolls or rituals. It's over. But Junyangzi. Wake up, Junyangzi.
I heard something. They didn't say goodbye and they left me, right? Yeah, right. Like always.
Huh? It's already over?
Junyangzi sits slumped in the debris of the wooden doll smashed through everyone's joint efforts. The pain fading from her face leaves only a desperate look of despair. She holds the fragments of wood, helpless, as though she were that weak and panicked girl in the bustling marketplace once more.
Seems what they said is true. I can't do it. I just want everything to be back to normal. Is that too much?
There should have been ways to undo it. But now, even I am confounded. Your pain is real. Then...
Beside the broken water jar, Yenisei looks toward Bessmert, who seems to feel something and gently breaks free from the stupefied patrol soldiers. The static courtyard is like a frozen scene, and Bessmert is the only actual walking Trilly on stage. Not being able to see the danger gives her an unworldly calm.
You said you can't do it. Not that you don't want to, right? The arcane skill with conditions cannot be taken back once it is cast. Just like the irretrievable curses and vows in Siberian shamanism.
I can see some markings on this girl's skull, like an unknown seal. I've been speculating about what caused limitation of her power. This may be the reason why she's in pain. A seal powerful enough to change one's marking on the bones is not to be easily broken.
Skull?
Junyangzi raises her hand and touches her forehead. The yellow drawing upon it should have been swept away by this sudden movement, forming a colorful mark or something else, but it doesn't.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Her exploration bearing no fruit, Junyangzi warily withdraws a hand and gives up her investigation.
I can't. I can turn them into lushus, but not the opposite way. Maybe I can't be a Xiangrui at all. I'm not qualified.
At this point, the story has entered an unsolvable impasse.
Alright. There's one more question that seems to be overlooked by us all. How many people have drunk Junyangzi's liquor in the merry festival spirit?
Part 20. Farewell to the past. Clasp your hands, bow your head, and become a figure gazed upon. When the voice of this outsider fades, the fated hour also arrives. Those among the crowd who drank the liquor are undergoing transformation amidst chaotic screams as each and every one of them become a lushu. As Junyangzi watches this irreversible scene, she's unaware the tears are already flowing down her face. Oh wait, so everyone who drank in the tavern now turned? She has made no progress at all. Everything is no different now than it was a few years ago, when she was even more reckless and naive.
The Taoist told me that my mother was the 9th Lu Shu from the very beginning of time. Great, though distant. After all, except for the moment she turned from a human into a Yao when she was leaving, I don't quite remember her.
Your mother was the Xiangrui, the people's guardian.
What is a Xiangrui?
The spirit of auspiciousness, the great Yao who protects and benefits people, like your mother once did. But a Xiangrui is not supposed to have any personal feelings. She fell because of you, because of the personal feeling. Remember that.
What is a personal feeling?
It's something she shouldn't have had, for you, either. But you shall keep to the path she left.
What path? Is it like the dirt path we're walking on? Or the stone path around the house?
Neither. Stay in the city. Be their guardian. Be a Xiangrui. You shall understand when the day comes.
The Taoist brought me here and left me here. That's exactly what my mother, the former Xiangrui, did to me as well. So I took departure as the price of living in the human world. Before I came to Pei City, the Taoist guaranteed me that, be a Xiangrui, and then you will understand her. How alluring was that? That's why I chose to stay here. At first, I couldn't stop thinking about what the Taoist said, but I had no idea how, because I was never taught how by anyone. I didn't have any other choice, so I started to recall my mother by piecing together the scattered words and descriptions from books and legends to recall what a Xiangrui is. I tried to be her, tried to replace her, just to meet her once again. If I got to meet her, I would ask her, what was on your mind? If only you could see me doing such a great job as a Xiangrui, would you feel even the slightest twinge of guilt? For deserting me, for leaving me alone.
I wonder though, because again we bring up the subject of fallen, aren't Xiangreis supposed to remain guardians of a place after whatever the fall means? Because okay, she developed personal feelings, but that doesn't mean she couldn't keep protecting whatever she was protecting before having Junyangzi. Sure, having personal feelings could casually cloud her judgment around some things, but I don't think it takes away the fact that she still had the power to actually be there for the people she was protecting, even with Junyangzi staying by her side. But I guess they'll do this on purpose, like they want us to see the story only through Junyangzi's eyes and piece it together along with her. Because right now I feel confused, like her, I don't see how any of this could logically apply. Now again, if that depends on some myth or legend that I've yet to read, again because I didn't wish to get spoiled, that's another thing. But so far with what we have, I too stand in the dark alone with her. I don't know.
Well, looks like I've neither truly understood her, nor a Xiangrui.
Between the two people standing in the courtyard walkway in the silent rain, a decision is made.
Junyangzi, are you really going to...
As someone who has always been steadfast in his will, he rarely hesitates. He doesn't know which words to use to emphasize the danger of this matter to the person in front of him, or whether all words are powerless before her final choice. And so, ultimately, he remains silent.
It's fine. I know there's no one who could jump over it. In order to stop me, Bei Zheng even told me some stories, and they were not very suitable for children.
Oh, she's going to jump over the bridge?
But I have to, because there's no other way. Only the divination. Well, you can't talk about Shuori without the divination, right? Thank you for letting me go. You even brought me the clothes. But the Julie is not here. I'm not sure if I'm wearing it right.
Well, you tried. It looks okay, I guess. It's a little messy.
But it's okay. Even if it's wrong, it still looks new and colorful.
She pats the hem of her skirt aimlessly, then folds the cuffs and finally folds back the silk drapes once more. When she cannot find anything else to fix, her farewell rises to the tip of her tongue.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. I'm leaving. Then.
Junyangsu steps back and places her hands beneath her forehead, palm to back. She bows farewell to Fatso in the hallway, and the Lu Shu turned from Li Zheng. A gesture of gratitude and an apology. She has never performed such a ritual before. This will be the first and last time.
Perhaps we will find another way. You don't have to.
He doesn't finish, because anything he wants to say would be untrue, an example of unwarranted comfort from a survivor toward their aggressor. And so, Junyangsu says nothing. She shakes her head as if she hadn't even heard his proposal, retreating into the rain, and then runs around and walks towards the outside of the jutsu. Her footsteps have never been so relaxed before, with each step becoming faster and faster, almost evolving to a sprint towards the end. She runs toward the outside of the city, but not to escape, but to save people. I hope it works. I really hope it works. The rain has not stopped since the previous night. Outside the city, Bessmert and Yenisei stand at the end of the broken bridge, gazing at the misty bank opposite to them. Gutian is perched on the tree above their heads. He has been here all along, arriving earlier than the others. Well, if Gutian is here, he can take her to the other side. She doesn't have to jump.
Mr. Gutian, we are left with only one option, which is to stand here and pray for her. Correct? Pray that the Ask and Acquire, or the divination, will answer us and give us what we want in a flash. But is it really possible?
I think not. We should go.
Bessmert listens to the advancing footsteps around her, emanating from all those who are walking towards the broken bridge, still remembering the auspicious significance of this New Year's Day. At first, she tries to distinguish the voices that might be Fatso and the others, but as the rain grows heavier and louder, she finally gives up.
I heard today is a special day for the locals, known as Sui Jiao Chuan. Mr. Gutian, what is Sui Jiao Chuan?
Bessmert holds her wet fringe to one side and tilts the oiled umbrella towards Yenisei. The Lu Shu silently approaches and leans against her tightly.
It comes from an Asian proverb. 百载难逢，岁朝春. It's the first day of a new year, and the first day of spring. 立春, the beginning of spring, corresponds to the lower trigram of Kan, in the direction of Gen. It is the season of life, a time when the weather is clear and young fills the air.
They are pleasing to the ears, but I don't know what to make of it when all these are put together.
立春 is one of the 24 solar terms. It signifies the beginning of spring. 岁朝春 is how people would call it when the first day of the Du Shuo festival and the first day of spring happen to be the same day. It is a once-in-a-century good sign.
Indeed. It's also the first day of a new year. I like the coincidence.
Do you still find it equally pleasing if your teammates are not coming back?
I mean, you're asking difficult questions right now. I don't think, I guess. I mean, they weren't the best people, but, you know.
Then, I will take them home as they are now, and see what I can do.
Sorry about that, guys. The internet has been extra the last 2 days. It throws me out. Every time I'm idle for 1 minute or two, throws me out for some reason. I don't know what's up with it. Anyway, let's keep going.
I know the words are hidden behind your silence, but this is the best option for now.
Yeah, I hope she doesn't have to take them back as horses, but I don't think she will because Yenisei is a playable character, so we play her as a person, not as a Lushu. So I think that says enough about how the story is going to end.
After all, as you just said, prayers are not enough to bring them back.
They could, for a time.
But that's only what happened in the past. As you just said, good days only exist in our memories.
That was before the flood. The aftermath of that disaster lasted longer than I thought. I was so wrong to think it was over.
Bessmert looks up. A drop of rain falls right into the fabric she uses to cover her eyes. Then more falls, and more, gradually wetting the entire weaved surface. She listens without intending any comment.
It all began with the unstoppable flood. At first, it was just a few unusual tides that no one noticed. Then, the flood came, followed by the destruction of the bridge. The temple on the mountain thus lost its connection to its pilgrims. The prayers were no longer answered. I do not understand what caused all these things. My people left the mountain to help with the situation, but they never came back. And now, even this river beneath us is gone, just like the Yuan Temple, forever lost in the fog.
Behind them, the city residents gradually approach and carve words of divination onto the wooden sticks in their hands, just as they had in previous years. They're prepared for the fact that there may not be an answer to their questions, but they know nothing of the reason why. Bessmert feels the weight of the growing crowd. They gather and ride in the rain, working tirelessly for a long time. Is it the eternal fate of humans and arcanists to act upon desires they know cannot be realized?
It's useless. The god won't hear us, nor will it see us.
Please know that I don't mean to offend you with this question.
Please.
Can't you take those people to the other end of the bridge? If the condition of the divination is to go across the broken bridge.
Though we're both outsiders in this place, you are more naive than I am.
I just think she's just really nice. That's what it is. She wants to help people try. And after all, it's something she's been researching around this area, this ask and you shall receive type of arcane magic. So, well, yes, part of her, sure, is asking this out of kindness. There's also the curious part of her that probably wants to check if perhaps this arcane power appears after you cross the bridge. Otherwise, she's right. He could take a few people to the other side, if not everyone. I think everyone is a bit too much, even for him. I mean, from what we've read so far, it appears he's quite big. Like, we see him now being the same size as her as a person, but he must be way bigger than her and other people. So I'm guessing he can take 2 people at a time. No idea.
Huh?
One can only meet the condition by going over the bridge oneself, even if the price is their life.
Oh, okay.
You might think it's cruel, but what good would it do if people were easily given what they asked for, without paying a price?
Yeah, but isn't it a bit incorrect to say, because people told us that in the past this bridge was full, okay? So people would cross it to go and ask what they wanted to ask. The difficulty was what lied after the bridge. They had to climb mountains, they had to go through forests. That's where their testing took place. So I don't think that crossing the bridge would stop them from having to go through such struggles after all. That obstacle wasn't there before, so I don't think it matters if you pass them to the other side. They still will have to go through a number of obstacles before getting to the temple or whatever lies on the other side.
Wouldn't it make other suffering a joke?
No, because like I said, there were people who were crossing this bridge normally before it broke. So, yeah. Gutian lowers his head to look at Bessmert and the quiet Yenisei beside him, thinking that they perhaps do not believe his words. He rarely needs to say so much to others in such a short space of time, but since he has already started, he might as well finish.
You don't believe me?
I'm trying to understand.
It's all the same. I can take you to the other side of the bridge. But you must not be disappointed if it ends up fruitless.
Pardon?
I can take you there.
Why? Why the change of mind?
Haven't I mentioned it before?
Mentioned what?
Your bones. Among all the others, you are the only one for whom I do not recognize the markings on your bones.
I wonder why Bessmert's bones cannot be red. Maybe her arcane power covers them or something? We'll see. 21, another way out. Leap across the chasm and rediscover the lost unknown. This new discovery swiftly draws Bessmert's attention away from the broken bridge.
What is that supposed to mean?
Judging from the fact that you have unreadable bones, you are certainly neither a Yao nor a human. A Grumking? No.
What? She's not human? I mean, yeah, she's an arcanist, but so is Yenisei.
Oh, I'm also an arcanist.
My instinct told me that I should flee to the end of the world the moment I saw you.
What?
You did run away, along with my poor teammates, who were turned into Lushus.
I could not have imagined being around someone with unreadable bones. Turns out, it wasn't as strange as I thought it would be.
Not much difference, you mean? Like the people here believe that there's no difference between humans and arcanists, which makes me very surprised.
Based on the bones I've seen, they are different. It's just that...
Doesn't make a difference, right? We are the same when we desire something.
Bessmert turns her face toward where the people are moving. She holds her face as if firmly staring at something, despite her lack of sight.
I wasn't questioning you or the temple when I asked you about flying to the other side. I wasn't even questioning the strange condition of this arcane skill.
What do you mean?
I was running out of options, I guess. It was just some futile effort I made when I realized this was a dead end. But I have no idea how it got to this point.
Bessmert makes her decision. She lifts the oiled umbrella and sticks it between the branches above her head, walking out from beneath its cover, heading toward the people carving sticks in the rain. Yenisei does not stop either. She follows behind Bessmert, just as she has been doing since her departure.
Where are you going?
I have questions to ask.
Even if there are no answers?
Yes. I think it is the same for all these people.
Perhaps that too is a test. People are made not to believe that their wishes are going to be heard because for years the gods didn't answer to their requests, to the point that even Shangres and other types of creatures like Yao stopped believing that thing was possible at this point. Like, you can no longer be heard by gods. Like, why do you keep trying, you know? But the one who keeps her faith might eventually get what they wish for.
They keep asking, even though they hear no answers.
Bessmert walks forward, almost reaching the broken bridge, until Yenisei grabs his sleeve.
It's okay. I know what you're going to say.
Yenisei reveals her image in the rain. The surface of the water is lightly pattered by raindrops, and her face is rippled by their falling. Fortunately, her heart is no longer swaying like her reflection.
How are you going to do it? We don't have any wooden chips like that.
I will use my finger. Mud and water. On the ground. You can ask too. Whatever means you use.
What I want to know
is if I'm ever going to be human again. Bessmert crouches down and pokes her index finger into the soft mud, writing a few Cyrillic letters, then others, and then still more. By the time she finishes writing the entire question, the first letters have already been eaten by the heavy rain, like sea water washing away etchings on a beach.
Child, what's your question? Say it if you like.
I think I will write it down.
With your hooves? Yenisei doesn't believe that doing so will have any purpose, but she cannot refuse Bessmert. As she gazes at her surface in the pool of water, she once again activates her arcane skill and asks the question that has been waiting in her heart. The red-haired girl suddenly disappears from the pool of water in front of her. Instead, a line of Cyrillic letters composed of warm-colored dots appear on the clear water surface. Memon. She said Cyrillic though, so yeah, I can tell what it says. And even if I could read it, I wouldn't know what it means, so I don't know why I tried that. The girl looks at the water and realizes that the line of words doesn't even need to be fully legible. Rain pounds and waves rise. The water trembles with her question. Where is my water? Huh? The sudden emergence of more animal footsteps prevents Yenisei from becoming lost in deeper thought. The red-haired girl reappears in the water, her tone as unsparing as usual.
Are they still going to carry out the fortune walk?
Yenisei turns around. These animals, neither lushus nor striped horses, have left the city's unattended jutsu and coincidentally arrived here. They are stood there, naked and tired, unadorned in any festive decorations. The ribbons and flowers Yenisei has seen on the first day in the bustling market have disappeared, not suitable for the present situation after all.
They are carrying wooden chips in their mouths.
They're all here, right?
Yes. With the wooden chips. They are here for the divination. But the chips are empty.
Obviously, they can't write.
They will have to ask in their minds.
What would you like me to do?
You can be their mouths, hands, and eyes. You can also do nothing. Just like the good sir waiting behind us.
Gutian remains in the tree and thus sees everything. His wings have become damp and heavy from the rain, and the cloth on his head is soaked, pressing down heavily as if dragging him back down to the ground, back into the mud, back to the place where the world began. He doesn't move, silently taking stock of everything that happened under that tree.
I see. If they are here for the divination, I will help.
There are many puddles on the uneven ground. After a brief flicker of light, faces begin to appear in the water. They fade again, one by one, forming in a long or short sentences. Though Yenisei cannot understand them, this is all she can do. She continues to look for a while, then forces herself to turn around and search for Bessmert.
Madam, after we go back...
Bessmert smiles, shakes her head gently, and halts the girl's words. Bessmert turns around, seeming to be facing Gutian's direction, back to the city gates from which everyone came. She can sense a steady stream of energy flowing toward the destination.
You're wrong. It can hear us.
How do you know? Gutian is in the tree, shaking off his wings like a swallow, shaking off the reason for making him feel so excessively dumb. He knows that Bessmert must not be talking to him, as a blind arcanist continues to work in vain. But then he is wrong yet again.
Who is that?
The sound everyone present can hear becomes louder and louder against the breaking silence, accompanied now by nothing but the patter of the rain, to the point where they all turn back in response. All they see is a red dress swiftly passing over them all. It is Junyangzi. Both those familiar and unfamiliar with her quickly realize her identity, despite the change. Why did she do it? Did she really jump over the broken bridge? What could possibly have happened to her after doing so? A myriad of questions hovers in the minds of the confounded witnesses. Well, she turned to Lushu last moment, so she probably made the jump, because horses are capable of jumping further away from humans. The moment the roll she had in her mouth opened, I couldn't help but tear. Like, first of all, the art is beautiful per usual, and I'm kind of soft when I see really beautiful art. It sometimes makes me tear because beauty, I guess. It moves me. But also the fact that, you know, she can write, okay? And you saw there were so many people on her roll. So in a way, when Bessmert said, oh, they can hear us, it just matches so much with what she did right here. She didn't cross the bridge only to find her answers, but the answers of her people, because it's like she could have taken a small paper with her wish, like everybody had their little chips, but no, she took a whole roll of paper on which she wrote everybody's wishes, I believe. So I'm guessing, well, she doesn't know what every person in her city wishes. She knows that people want things. And she made sure that the wish of her people for their wishes to be granted was mentioned in that roll. She took the will of her people with her to the other side. I like that even though she was put in that place and felt that guilt and wants to bring everybody back, in the back of her head, she still wants to be a shangri and stand for her people. So taking the wishes of her people to the other side of the bridge to be heard, as well as her own, is just so beautiful. And so fitting for the role. Like, I believe that after this, Junyangzi is going to understand that, yeah, sure, she doesn't fit the descriptions in the books about what a shangri should be, but she's a shangri in her own way. And her way includes personal emotions because she cares about her people, and that doesn't make her any weaker. It makes her stronger.
It was her. The noise I heard. It was Yenisei. Right? It was an unusual disturbance when she jumped over the bridge.
That was Jiunyangzi. Mr. Liu, did you see that?
Yes, that's her. That's really her. High heaven, she did it. She jumped over.
In shock, someone hurriedly pokes their head toward the opposite bank of the broken bridge, but stops and withdraws at the cliff's edge. They're seeking a definite answer, but fear the steepness and height of the cliff. Naturally, they never imagined someone might cross it.
That's right. It's Junyangzi. I saw her turn into a Lushu. Madam, she turned into a real Lushu.
Yenisei, you're human. You're actually human.
The people are back. In the river.
The river! The Pele River is rising!
Beneath the cliff no longer lies a canyon or a low river, but a constantly rising torrent.
Wait, I can talk. My body's... What's happening?
The people finally react. They look at each other excitedly, a red light illuminating their faces like the dazzling courtyard fires beneath the festival walkways of a strip of light that appeared on the river before. Their divine wishes have been granted.
Wait, my body is back?
Yenisei almost leaps into the air to embrace Bessmert.
Junansi, she jumped over the bridge. She jumped over, in the human form. She didn't fall. I'm not sure if I saw it clearly. I think for an instant, she turned into a real Lushu. Is this the power of the divination? The magic of Ask in the choir? Oh wait, the people in the city have come back. So maybe...
A voice now long unheard also sounds from beside them.
What the... What's going on? Oh, my head hurts.
Mr. Krulik!
In the crowd, all the companions they once had lost are now returned to them.
Oh dear. I had the strangest dream.
And Mr. Urian! Everyone! They are over there! Madam, let's go see them!
Without waiting for an answer, Yenisei waves from a distance and immediately runs towards them.
Here! We are here!
Bai Sai Nun Feng Soi Jiao Chun.
Hey, you said it correctly too!
It's indeed a rare occasion.